What up? What up? What up, man? I'll let some more of y'all join up. Sage, what's up, man? Been a minute for the boxing side, man. Excuse my absence. It's been a lot going on, but we back though, and we got a good topic for you today, man. We got some fights coming up. November 22nd, you already know we got Haney versus Norman. And tonight, November 8th, we got Lubin versus Ortiz. So I thought they were compelling fights, not only for the fights themselves, but for the boxing landscape and what they mean for the future going into 2026. So it's good to, jump on and talk about it. So we will, you know what I mean? But right now, the things that are going on in the world and in other sports, I want to take some time because I was just kind of chopping it up, talking about it. But I want to take some time to say, those of you who follow me from the Cowboy side, take a moment to respect and admire and acknowledge the life of Marshawn Nealon. I haven't done a show about it. I haven't gotten on and said anything on my channel about it at all. So, I didn't want to move forward and act like because we're talking about boxing, that wasn't one of the latest things that happened. So, guys, acknowledge that. But again, remember that he's a human being. He has a family, and they're not here for the clickbait. So, give his family their space and their time and their energy reserves to grieve rather than jumping up and making a bunch of videos like we were going fishing together and chilling and so on, right? But moment of silence for Marshawn Nealon, man. Yep. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, definitely for sure. I see folks in here already. My producer in here, he like make sure you plug it. You already cursing out Marshawn Nealon's I guess mourners, but I ain't tell y'all to follow the page. So make sure you guys follow the page too. All right. Well, Sage, you in here, a couple of y'all in here, but I'm gonna keep it going. When you since we talking about tonight first, right? I'll talk about Devin Haney and them last, but when you look at Lubin, I know a lot of people look at Lubin and say like, "Hey, what's going on, Tarek B?" A lot of people look at Lubin and say like he a game fighter, he tough, he's dangerous enough, so that's why people will sign up to fight him. But he's just one of those guys who, for whatever reason, can't get over the hump. Like he can't get right. He got knocked out by one of the Charlos first round, and then he got he had like a nasty fight with Fundora, messed his face up, something crazy. And he's one of those guys where he's tough enough to give you a good fight, but not the guy that's gonna necessarily get you out of there. He's like the new. I don't want to disrespect him by comparing him, but I don't want to say the new, but he's similar to in his style or his status as a role player or as a what do you call it, gatekeeper. He's one of those guys like the Carlos Baldemirs back in the day, like tough enough to make you look good, but not scary. You know what I'm saying? Or Luis Calazu is one of those guys, tough enough where I remember he fought Thurman, and it's like they forgot that he wasn't supposed to win because he hit Thurman in the stomach. He hit him with a body shot, and Thurman was almost done. And it's like he pulled up off of the throttle after that. Calazo did, as if he knew it, like I'm not supposed to be winning this fight. It's like one of those guys. Lubin's like in that status to me, and I know that might sound disrespectful to others who look at him differently, but he's one of those guys where it's like, look, it's a name big enough for me to look good fighting you and having you on my resume because of light competition and the other people you may have fought. But unless he changes his style drastically, I don't see him being able to win at the top level, i.e., against a guy like Ortiz, who's high octane offense. Ortiz is going to come for Lubin from bell to bell, and he's not. I don't think he's a defensive enough fighter, as you've seen from his other wars. Like he wants to exchange with you, and that's not good for him. And that's probably his issues. Like he's not the guy that has the defense, I would say, or the counter punching ability to give Ortiz enough trouble and control the pace of that fight. So I see it as a fight where Ortiz uh, ups the pace early in the fight and hopes to wear Lubin down by round 7 and try to get him out of here. I think that's what Ortiz is going to try to do. If Lubin is like in top shape, meaning he trained his ass off for this fight, he could very well survive for the entirety. But that will only be if early in the fight he doesn't incur any damage, meaning like he stays on his bike, stays behind his jab, uses angles, a lot of grappling, and a lot of clinching and stuff like that, just to get through some of the early rounds where Ortiz has top energy. Because when you're coming into a fight, you don't want to jump in and start exchanging with a guy who's fresh, because both of y'all throwing haymakers and bombs when you're fresh. Only guys who train can carry their power later in those fights, because they've trained to be able to do it. Most guys, most boxers, most people in a fight are front runners. I mean, you fight somebody on the street, someone on the street probably got like 30 seconds to a minute of swinging in a fight for you. Then they gas, they tired. A boxer, 3 rounds to 6 rounds, they can throw, and then after that, they're gassed unless they train at that top level to be able to do that. So, like I said, I think that Ortiz, one way or another, is going to wear Lubin down, and then that's the way this fight is going to go. Landscape wise, though, the winner of this fight is likely going to be in a conversation for Boots Ennis soon, right? Whether that be Lubin. I think Lubin, no matter what, should stay far away from Boots, because if you've been knocked out in the first round by Charlo, you've been beat up by Fundora, fighting Boots is going to get you out of here, man. I wouldn't touch Boots with a 10-foot pole if I was Lubin. So hopefully, if he does win, he does something else. But obviously, I'm thinking that Ortiz is going to pull this fight out, and if Ortiz is the victor, that fight will be one of the bigger fights of 2026 if him and Boots were to actually agree, which they said they have tentatively. But if they actually are serious about that and they fight, I think that's a fight that boxing fans want to see. Tarek B said Boots beat both of them, in my opinion, and Lubin should definitely stay far away. Yeah, that's for sure. He said he's a good name to have on your resume to get more people to notice you. Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's one of those guys where it's like, all right, he good enough, we're beating him, he makes people turn their heads. And if you have a tough fight against him, it lets you know you still got work to do. You know what I mean? It's certain fighters don't really ascend to their true potential, and then they become this type of guy. Like Zab Judah back in the day. Zab just, he had all the promise in the world, but then at the end, it's like, it's like that bad joint that's on her way out. She on her way down. She not a video vixen no more. So everybody trying, you know, get in where they fit in while she still got something left. You know what I mean? And that's how it was with Zab. Everybody's trying to fight Zab Judah. Oh, excuse me, I got hiccups. But everybody's trying to fight Zab Judah near the end of his career, because they felt like he's dangerous enough for you to get something off of it, name wise, notoriety wise, but he's not going to beat you, or he's not that guy anymore. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I look at Lubin like that. You're right, Terry. I see everybody here saying like, Isidro, my bad, Isidro Garcia. He said 94 tears. Yeah, man, moment of silence for 94, like we said earlier, coming in, man. But yeah, you're right too, Terry B. Stay far away. Stylistically though, like I said, Lubin doesn't have much to offer when it comes to Ortiz, because his style. So Lubin's style is he likes to exchange, and he wants to come and bring, some sort of fury to you, right? The problem is, if you're a guy, his style, kind of hurts him, because if you're a guy that wants to exchange and that's how you fight, but you don't have the chin, or you're chinny, then that style doesn't work for you, right? But that's his best style. So his style is his own kryptonite, because the things that will help him beat you are the things that will help you beat him. Like if Lubin comes to you and he's trying, whenever he's getting hurt, it's because he's trying to hurt you. Like when he got caught by Charlo, he was trying to kill Charlo, right? So it's like, you can beat him because he's trying to hurt you. You know what I mean? Whereas if he just composed himself and he had a different mentality, like he was more of a boxer puncher rather than a puncher, or trying to be a puncher, I think his career would have fared a lot better. So sometimes our styles hurt us. You know what I mean? Where you have some guys who are super tough, and I would say, to be quite honest, I'm not going to say it hurts them, but it makes it so that you have a chance against them. A guy like Boots, you can watch Boots box. He can box 12 rounds beautifully, never take a risk, stay behind his jab. So can Crawford. They can stay behind the jab and just dominate you, right? And if that's how they wanted to fight you, if that was their mentality, they can win a lot of fights doing that, right? Boots, his kryptonite is the fact that he is tough enough where he can walk you down and he can fight, in the phone booth, and he'll do that even when he doesn't have to. So he gives you opportunities. When people say he gets hit and I say he doesn't, or I start talking about his defense, it's because I know he doesn't have to get hit. Like Boots can defend himself without getting hit if he's thinking defensively. The reason you'll see him get hit is because he's trying to exchange with you, which is the same thing Lubin is doing as well, except for Lubin doesn't have the chin when he's in those exchanges. Boots does, right? But he doesn't have to get hit. When he gets hit, if he does get hit, Boots that is, he can revert back to boxing and stay the hell away from you. Some guys can't do that. But, either way, I'm a little different. I look at it like, man, whatever you can do, control the man that's in the ring with you. That's what I tell my fighters to do. And come home safe. So whatever you need to do to make sure that happens, I'm all for it. And I mean, but shout out to Jaron Ennis and their team. Can't wait to see those guys in the ring again. I went to the fight October 11th, so that was a good experience. Good experience. But yeah, like I said, I hope you guys tune in tonight. Like it shouldn't pass 7 rounds. I think that he'll wear it down within 7, and Ortiz will get him out of here. Ortiz is not a one-punch knockout guy, so it should go that long. Outside of that, right? We got Norman and we got Haney, right? And I asked the question in the title, can Haney out tough Norman? Because a lot of people keep talking. I said that on purpose because a lot of people keep talking like Haney is, just a boxer, pretty boxer, fighter type of guy. Like he's not tough, and Haney's hella tough, man. And I think that's a misnomer that because you're a boxer and because you have high IQ and athleticism that you can't be tough. We just discussed how Boots shows how tough he is, and that's probably the only reason anybody even has a shot at beating him is because he's tough and he can walk you down, and he'll try to walk you down. Whereas same thing with Haney. Haney's been hit by the best of them, and every time I've seen him hit, his responses to it, like when Linares caught him, man, he rocked him. But he came back from it and he fought a good fight. You know what I mean? He won the fight and he fought a good fight. I look at him like a guy who got a good chin. When Ryan Garcia rocked him, those are all the reasons in the world to just lay down and go out by knockout. I think he won every round except for the rounds he was knocked out or hurt in. He got hurt in a few rounds. He got knocked down in a few rounds, and he lost those tremendously. But the rest of the rounds, it was like he was competitive in those rounds. Outside of that, when he was trying to clear out the cobwebs, obviously he took a couple rounds off, things like that. But for the most part, Haney was pressing the fight, and that's why he actually got clipped by Garcia in the first place, because he was over aggressive, in my opinion. And now, after his last performance with Shane Mosley in the corner, you can see he's less inclined to engage, and he's on his wheels or on his bicycle a little bit more. So people just assume, hey, Haney's a boxer, and then Norman's the puncher. Norman can only fight you if you're sitting right in front of him, and I'll get right back to that point in 1 second. I mean, see what you guys are saying. Tarek B said Boots is definitely one of my favorite fighters. One of mine too, man, for sure. I think Boots is the crazy thing is he's getting better, and he's young. So I don't think we've seen any of us have seen his best yet. I'm excited to see his career develop for sure. Devo, he said the main thing for Haney is discipline. Facts. Like I said, Haney got over aggressive in that last fight. Haney can fight his ass off when he's not trying to knock you out or run. That's a fact. That's what we just talking about. Because I think when he was running though, he was learning something new. Like if you teach somebody something, like if I'm teaching footwork, I'm going to overemphasize it because I need you to drill it in because you're not used to doing it. The only way to get someone to program something in their subconscious mind is either through trauma, repetition, or symbolism, right? Those are the 3 ways. So with boxing, we use repetition a lot and trauma. Like if you miss a mitt, I might slap you in the face just to show you that you're not defending yourself. So that's trauma, I guess. It's like letting you know pain is being your teacher in that regard. And the same thing when it comes to repetition. If I drill something into you, I have to get you to do it so much that it's ridiculous, right? So footwork wasn't one of his things. He wasn't utilizing footwork enough. He was utilizing angles early in his career and staying right at the front door. When I say right at the front door, I mean if you're a left-hand dominant fighter, meaning if you're a good left hook puncher or a good jabber, usually a left-hand dominant fighter doesn't hang back over his right foot. you know what I mean, and just throw quick punches because he has a strong jab. So a guy that has a strong jab or strong hooks, they kind of lean into it or they stay at this. This is the front door. So if I say back door is here, you stand on your right hand dominant, you lean back, you're off center, and you're further away from shots. So this is like a counter puncher's stance or a good defensive stance. Haney comes right to the front door. So he's right here. So because he's throwing that power jab at you, if you're good at countering jabs or you're just not worried about a jab, even if his jab is sharp and one of the best in the game, he's right there on center. And all he used to do to get off of that was take angles. But while he's in the middle of punching, he's not taking any angles. So all Ryan Garcia did was, I'm gonna throw a hook I'm gonna hook you while you're jabbing. Every time you jab, I'm gonna make it my weapon because I'm gonna use it against you. I'm gonna exchange with you every time you jab. And if I get caught with a jab, it's not gonna knock me out, but it's gonna hurt, right? But if you get caught with what I'm doing while you're jabbing, I'm gonna damage you, right? So that became the strategy to beat him. So ideally, and I hope this ain't too long-winded for y'all because I'm a coach, so I get into the thought process of shit. But ideally, if I'm a coach watching my fighter go through that, whether I'm Bill Haney or I'm Shane Mosley or whoever is watching him, I got to tell him, I got to teach him, get your shots off, but now you need to get off that get off the front door, man. Stop standing there and stop trying to go forward with guys the entire fight. You lean into that jab every once in a while, but I need quick jabs and then also alternate with your power jab. You can't just go in there with power jabs, no feints, no nothing, because eventually once they get your timing after like the first, second round, or first punch, if they're quick, high IQ fighters, they'll figure it out fast. But if they get your rhythm over 2-3 rounds, they're gonna start countering that. And now, like Haney has been, you'll be in trouble if you can't adjust. So that's what Haney's issue is. It's never been he's not tough. It's his style, the things that make him good, just like I was saying with anybody else. The way you beat a fighter is by taking the things that he's good at away from him or using it against him, so he does, and to see if he knows how to do anything else. And the same thing happens to Haney. When you take that jab away from him by countering it, you either hurt him or you make him kind of one-dimensional because he hasn't developed other parts of his offense. But I think the footwork with Mosley is going to help with that. Norman, Devo says Norman has all the tools to be great. He's just not quite there yet. I disagree. Disagree with you. I don't think greatness and Norman, I don't think are in the same category. I think Norman is good. He has all the tools to be good, but not great. Because in order for him to be great, I think he would need better footwork. And Norman is a guy that needs you to be right in front of him for him to damage you. He's good at fighting Mexicans, guys that are coming right after him. If you have a Mexican style and you want to go after Norman, that's when he can hurt you, and that's when he's the most dangerous. If you have good movement and you can box, I don't think Norman's half as dangerous as people think he is if you're boxing, unless he does the things that I just talked about when it comes to Haney, like punch while he's punching. If I punch while you're punching, I'm dangerous anyway. Anybody is. Like if I throw an overhand right while you're throwing a jab, and I'm willing to eat those jabs to land those overhand rights or hooks, I'm going to hurt you eventually because you can't defend every time while you're trying to be offensive. Most people don't have that in them. Jay Bryant says, "What's up, Akoye? I got a boxing history question. Where would you put Floyd Mayweather with past greats? Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler. Does Mayweather clearly beat those guys?" I get this question a lot. I think I've answered this before somewhere else, right? But no, he doesn't clearly beat any of those guys. That doesn't mean he doesn't beat them. But I think if you line those guys up, Duran, Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler, Leonard, and then a lot of the guys that they fought, like Wilfredo Benitez, those types of guys, like, man, Wilfredo Benitez defense is sickening, man. He was sickening. Guys like Salvador Sanchez and shit like that. He died in a car accident. He wasn't a welterweight though, but him and Floyd were at the same weight at some point. But yeah, those types of guys are not guys that this version of Mayweather or Mayweather in any era just walks through. But the other thing that people forget about Mayweather's history when we're talking about Mayweather, they look at his big fights as if they were his only fights. And that's not true either. So The misnomer, the same misnomer that we have about Haney being like just a boxer. He's a soft guy because he's an athlete and he's a boxer. People assume because Floyd, as he moved up in weight, started boxing more, that Floyd wasn't a gangster when he was Pretty Boy Floyd. When he's Pretty Boy Floyd, he had some wars and some exchanges with guys where he had to be more than just a boxer. He had to be tough. You know what I mean? Especially that fight against Chop Chop Corley, right? Or against Emmanuel Augustus, against Cotto, against Castillo. You know what I mean? These guys gave him good fights. Zab, these guys gave him good fights. Shane Mosley, you know what I mean? So Maidana. So he's had fights where he had to like show how tough he is, right? But the Ray Leonards of the world, the reason I say it would be very difficult for me to put him in any scenario beating Ray Leonard, especially Ray Leonard. And I can break down each style, but I'll start with Ray Leonard. Why not? Ray Leonard can do the things that Floyd can do, meaning Ray Leonard can box, he can move, he can defend, has a great jab, fast, quick twitch athlete. But the difference with Ray Leonard is, like, if me and you were even athletically, like you saw, Zab was a little faster than Floyd. You know what I mean? Ray Leonard's a smart guy too, right? Zab a little faster than Floyd. I think Ray Leonard might be a little faster than Floyd. But the difference is Ray Leonard can punch you with one punch as well and knock you right the fuck out. Ray Leonard only need one punch to get you out of here. You know what I'm saying? I think you could watch the fight against him and I think Davey Boy. Him against he went all the way up to light heavyweight and fought that dude Leilanda or whatever the dude name was. It was a light heavyweight dude, South African white guy, blonde hair. Knocked him out. I'm like, yo, Ray Leonard will knock you out, bro. So to be able to box the way he boxes, but if he lands one punch, he'll get you out of here. And he knows how to get to it and get to those spots. It's like, would you say Steph Curry is better than Kyrie Irving? I wouldn't, right? In the reason, I don't know if y'all would, but I wouldn't as a point guard. Why? Because the things that Steph can do, meaning like shoot from beyond the arc, he might be better at shooting threes than Kyrie. But the things that Kyrie can do, Steph can't go to those levels. I just don't see him in the paint doing the things that Kyrie can do. It's the same thing. The things that Floyd can do, Ray Leonard can do. But Floyd can't punch like Ray, and he can't get away from him. So I think that Ray Leonard would have beat Floyd, I'll say 8 times out of 10, 7 times out of 10. I'm not saying Floyd could never in any situation beat him, but you're not gonna dominate him or out IQ a Sugar Ray Leonard because he has that IQ. Back in the day, like even when I came up, I'm 42. It's the reason I'm not a pro boxer is because I didn't start taking boxing serious until I was 23. And during my era, if you come up in like the 90s, the 80s, the way they used to think, if you started boxing late, everyone could fight so well that you couldn't start boxing late because the IQ is there for everyone else. And it might be there for you too. But the toughness and the experience, it was just too much. Like you couldn't overcome it because everybody can box. Back in the day, everybody could box and they knew how to fight their fight. Now, boxing is the only sport where now you don't got this in the MMA, you don't got this in no other sport. You got to be a master at something in your martial art to be a pro at it in every other martial art. My sons do jujitsu, they're masters at jujitsu. They're fucking good, right? They know it like the back of their hand. Boxing is the only sport you could be a professional at and not know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that Floyd would have had an easier time, period, in that era, because in that era, everybody could box. If you were a boxer, you really had that in you. You know what I'm saying? When you look at a guy like Hagler, if you go to Hagler next, man, Hagler can beat your ass out of both styles. Floyd can't throw anything that would have made Hagler back off of him. But Hagler's IQ is just through the roof. So Hagler would have been touching on Floyd, but punching on Floyd whenever he wants, and then he's not going to stop. Like he's like a wall that's coming forward, has a high boxing IQ, but when he punches you, you feel it. When he punches you in the arm, you feel it. You know what I mean? So Hagler being able to switch styles, switch stances, and has the thudding, punching power, high boxing IQ, and a head that was like a piece of iron. You couldn't hurt him. there would have been nothing that Floyd can throw that would have deterred Hagler. Like, you could throw that body jab, he ain't stopping. He don't care about that. You can throw that quick counter to the face. He don't care. You know what I'm saying? That check hook. If it's not a kill shot, you ain't. Hagler, watch Hagler fight John the Beast Mugambi, right? Watch him fight him. John the Beast Mugambi was an African killer, like a murderer, for real, right? Hagler willingly went toe to toe with him and didn't even have to. He could have boxed him. He went toe to toe with him for 12 rounds. I think 15, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So there's not, if he couldn't do anything that made Hagler stop fighting on the inside, ain't shit Floyd got for Hagler that's gonna make him back off. Nothing. So could he beat Hagler? Probably. You can outpoint him. One of my trainers, his stablemate, Bobby Boogaloo Watts from Philly. Shout out to Bobby Boogaloo Watts. He fought Hagler and beat him. I mean, he beat him once, and then Hagler came back to the Blue Horizon here in Philly and won that fight, but won the second fight. But yeah, so he could be beat and outpointed. You know what I mean? But it wouldn't have been easy for Floyd to fight that guy. Fighting a guy like Hearns, if you go to Hearns next for Floyd. Hearns is 6'1". He's a 6'1" welterweight that got a right hand that's like a cobra. So Motor City Cobra is the perfect name for him. You know what I'm saying? Hitman. But Hagler, if Hearns would have hit Floyd at any moment, he can put you out. That's the thing that all these guys can do that most fighters today can't do. They can box, but they only need one punch to put you out. Hagler only need to hit you one time. Hearns, one time. Leonard, one time. They hit you right one time, they can put you out. Floyd never had that. He never had one punch knockout ability. So if there's a train going by, if you guys can hear that, hold on a second. Let me let it go by. It's going crazy too. It's going fast. All right, bet it went by. But if you say that boxing IQ is equal and we're even as far as IQ is concerned, then what do we go to? Our talents, right? Our natural abilities. And Floyd don't got that one that quick twitch knockout ability. He ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? He ain't never had it. So that's why all these guys are hard for him to beat, because they got the IQ that you have. They just got a different style. But when they hit you, if they're able to hit you, which they will, because your style is not scary to them. When Sugar Ray Leonard fought that shoulder roll style, when he fought Floyd Mayweather Sr., he did the same thing that I said Hagler would do to him. He just kept punching. He attacked the front shoulder. Like, I'm not going to go after your head knowing that you looking to roll. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to attack the front shoulder. I'm going to treat the front shoulder as if it's the head. So when I throw my jab, I'm throwing it at your front shoulder. When any punch I throw, I'm attacking the shoulder. If you want a fight, another fight other than the Sugar Ray Leonard fight versus Floyd Mayweather Sr., to see someone doing what I'm talking about, watch Roy Jones. I said Roy Williams. Don't talk about football. Roy Jones versus what's his name? Was it Eric Harding? I think it was Harding from Philly. He's a southpaw, and he had a great defense. Roy Jones couldn't penetrate his defense, so all he did the entire fight was punch him on the bicep, punch him on the arm, so that his offense couldn't get off. He could, by the third round, he couldn't really lift his hands up. He couldn't really fight, and I think he ended that fight with a detached bicep. He detached his bicep off his arm because he kept hitting him in his arm and attacking it. So there are ways to attack the shoulder roll or the Philly shell. You just have to have certain abilities to do it. You can't do it punching, like a boxer. Like, you know what I mean? I'm talking about light, quick, soft punches, trying to set shots up. You got to be a thudding puncher, and you got to be one of those guys that could punch a doorknob or punch a tree. That's why I train guys to do that, though. Like, you got to train your guys to punch the heavy bag with no gloves on, punch with small padded gloves, because you need to build the muscles and the ligaments in your hands to be able to hit hard objects, because you might hit guys on the top of the head. You might hit guys in the elbow. Those things hurt, but you got to be prepared for that. But you also need to be able to say, like, if I hit you in the chin or if I hit you on your bone, I'm going to hurt you anyway. It doesn't matter. If I hit you in the rib, I'm going to break it. I'm trying to do that. I'm not trying to just score a point. You know what I'm saying? But long-winded answer, but great question. I don't think that Floyd gets through that gauntlet unscathed. He might be 2 for 2 going against Duran, Hagler, Hearns, and Leonard. And then if you throw Wilfredo Benitez in there, Wilfredo Gomez, if he was at the same weight with a Pernell Whitaker, there's so many guys back then that was like sickening, like Meldrick Taylor, Norris, Terry Norris. These guys can punch. All of them can punch. Even Whitaker will knock you the fuck out. His own uncle Roger Mayweather would have gave him a rumble. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the 80s can fight. You not getting like you was only champion in the 80s, and it wasn't no 4 or 5 belts either. You was only a champion in the 80s if you really had it, like that. You was like that. You was him. Not now. So now, if you can box, if you can even halfway box like those guys back in the day, you can dominate all these guys in this era. I'm 42 and I spar guys just for fun now, right? Pros today, right? I ain't gonna say their names, but I spar guys now. And I would never do that in the 80s. I wouldn't go to a gym in the 80s and be like, let me spar somebody because I know I ain't in shape and I'm gonna get hurt, right? Now it's like I know these guys don't know shit. A lot of guys don't know anything, and they'll call themselves boxers. They be in the gym every day doing nothing, talking. I hit the speed bag. They can't hit the speed bag because they've been hitting the focus mitts for so long. They don't even know what a speed bag is even for. People trying to throw power shots at the speed bag, which you can work on, but it's your timing that you're working on to deliver the best knockout blow. They don't know how to do none of that. And I'm like, you are a pro boxer though. But if you can't come to the gym and do what I can do, and I damn sure ain't no pro, then something's wrong. If your trainer never fought or can't fight, something's wrong. So it's a lot of that going on today where a lot of the trainers and coaches that really knew boxing and knew what you don't know, meaning they can teach you the things that you're deficient at because they know what you don't know and they know how to teach you to know what you don't know. Those guys don't exist no more. So now you got a bunch of guys that's getting guys in great shape and they think because they're stronger, faster, and he got a PhD in kinesiology, he can teach you how to box. That's not boxing. That's athleticism. You know what I'm saying? We don't have good coaches no more, man. It's over. Okay, let me see what y'all was saying while I was saying that. That was a good question though. He said Ryan Barrios. What do you mean? You mean out of who wins that fight? I like Ryan's left hook against anybody. I think if he land that left hook on anybody, he put him down. He said Pretty Boy was a straight dog. That chop fight was my favorite Pretty Boy fight. That's one of them. Yeah, he's like, stop bitching. They both bleeding. They like, you like, stop bitching. And they start rumbling, man. That was a good fight. That was a good fight. But Floyd definitely, he got that in him. People just don't give him credit for it because he don't got that type of punching power. He said, I like Kyrie better because Kyrie can do everything on the offense minus 3-point shooting. Facts. People see 50-0 and automatically think he was the greatest, but in that era, he would have been good, but he would have had hell. Yeah. And then people don't understand marketing. They think like Floyd Mayweather, that's one thing I can give him credit for. Tyson, Ali, Mayweather, Dempsey, who else? Tyson Fury. There's showmanship in their game. Like they understand that this is prize fighting. Floyd Mayweather understood that. So he did such a good job marketing his record because that's all he can market. He couldn't market knockout power. He ain't exciting in that way. He had to market his defense, but who the fuck wants to watch just a boring defensive fight? Nobody wants to watch that. But how do I sell his defense in a way that makes you want to see it? Number one, I can't do it as him being a positive, nice guy because then he becomes Terence Crawford. Nobody wants to see a boring, nice guy, right? Okay, we don't want to see that. But if I say, hey, I bet you can't hit this guy, and he's annoying and so annoying that you hate him, now you show up to watch the one person that you think can finally shut this guy up or humble this guy. So he made his defensive style attractive because he made you hate him with the Money Mayweather antics. He made you hate him. So now more people showed up to watch him lose than win. Ali had that. More people showed up to watch Tyson do some crazy shit than watch the fight. They just said, I know some crazy shit about to go down. He knew how to sell. Tyson Fury, that first fight against not Devin Haney, Deontay Wilder, he dominated Wilder. Nobody will ever believe me, and maybe when he retires, he might admit it, but he's not going to admit it. But I watched a lot of boxing. I broke that fight down very well. Tyson Fury was never in trouble in that first fight against Deontay Wilder. he threw the fight. I mean, I say threw it. He knew that if he came out of retirement, fought Wilder, and just washed him, there's no more room for Wilder to make any more money with you, and there's no more room for him to make any more money with Wilder. There's no trilogy if he goes in the first fight and dominates Wilder, which he could have, because Wilder's style got better as they kept fighting. He got better, but he was a 1-2-3 fighter. When I say a guy's an ABC fighter, a 1-2-3 fighter, man, Wilder would be like, it's A, B, C. That's all he is. You know what I'm saying? It's just 1-2s, a bunch of big windups. And then his windups would be like this, like he's shooting a crossbow or a bow and arrow on me. His windups was just so telegraphed the whole fight. If you watch that fight on mute, watch how many times Tyson Fury sees that windup. So the reason I know he threw it is because if I know in the beginning of the fight that you can see it, I know you see it coming a mile away. I can see it coming a mile away. I know he sees it. I know you trained for it. You see the punch coming from a while away, and the punches that you get hurt by are the ones you don't see. Wilder never surprised Fury with any punch at any moment in that fight. None. It was no suddenness to it. He saw them all coming a mile away. So look at the first knockdown where he got hit with I think the left hook. Just watch his feet. He crosses his feet on purpose and falls over to the side like he hurt. He wasn't hurt. And then that knockdown at the end, he was already, when he saw that punch coming, he watched it coming. It's like he froze for the right hand and then, kind of went with it. So when he went down like a log. It wasn't a snap where, like the third fight, Wilder hit Fury so hard that you could watch the reverberation, like the shaking of his body from the head to toe. You can see the power travel through his body. That is the first time Wilder hurt Fury in the 3 fights. That's that first fight when he hit him and he went down and got up like the Undertaker. That was all theatrics. So I say all this to say some fighters understand, like Floyd does, showmanship. And Floyd sold that 50 so well that everybody think you got to be fucking defeated to be good. You don't got to be undefeated to be good. It's just that Floyd's only claim to fame was the fact that I'm undefeated and you guys can't beat me. Even though you hate me, you can't beat me. So everybody thinks that now. Black guys who watched him think you got to be like super rapper-ish and flashy, which you don't. You sell yourself based off of who you are. Floyd is Floyd because he was authentic. He knew who, when I say authentic, that was his authentic strategy to winning. That doesn't mean everything he was saying was true. It just means this was his style of marketing that made him great and made people want to watch him. Another guy might do just as good, not saying shit ever, never saying a word. You know what I'm saying? Because people are like, the mystery might sell this guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's just different. It's different. But yeah, that 50-0, people think that 50-0 meant something. It did. He said, you're right, Akoye. He said, I love the breakdown of Floyd versus Ray Leonard. I still like Floyd in that fight. We both 42. Great analysis, though. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't argue with somebody who said that Floyd can beat Leonard because he may have. But I'm just saying, if it get to a point where it becomes a fight, meaning we both know how to box. When he fought Hearns, we both know how to box. We just gonna box each other for 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds. We can do this all day, baby. Now I got to be a fight for one of us to win it, though. So now I know what you're gonna do. You know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna hit you. You're not gonna hit me unless we just say fuck it and let's fight. Him and Hearns did that and they fought. You know what I'm saying? Him and Hagler actually did that at some point. Because once you realize, hey, you ain't gonna beat me Floyd not gonna beat Sugar Ray Leonard by sitting back and waiting defensively. He's gonna get picked off. He's gonna be down points. And if I get you down points, and you know you down points because you haven't been hitting me, because I'm just as good as you, like he was against Zab, right? Zab was winning the first 3, 4 rounds. Floyd wasn't able to do anything with him. If I know you desperate going into the tail end of the fight, now you know you got to fight me to beat me because you know you're down. If the 7th round, you know you're down, you got to fight. You know what I'm saying? If Floyd was down against Sugar Ray Leonard and the answer is for the next 5 rounds, we got to go at it, Floyd loses that because he has to exchange. The only way Floyd could beat Leonard is if he was up on points early against Leonard, meaning he would have to be able to outpoint a fresh Leonard, which you're not going to just outpoint a fresh Leonard, meaning he got to touch him more than he's getting touched. He got to use ring generalship and dominate the fight for the first 4 or 5 rounds against Leonard. I don't see it happening because when Leonard's fresh and you want to exchange with him, that's when he's more dangerous. So You're not going to do it that way. And if it's a question as to whether or not you're up going into the second half of the fight, and your coach says you got to go take it from him, go take it from Leonard if you want to. Go try that. He'll knock you right the fuck out. So that's why I said Floyd. You might say Floyd can win it. There's some scenarios where you can see it happening, but to have to go after Leonard and fight him, you have to do it to win. That's a recipe for disaster, man. I don't think that's a good idea. That's like saying, yo, to beat Tyson, you gotta go take the fight to him. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? That don't make sense. But anyway, King Reezy, what's up? He said, Akoye, what it do? I agree. Kyrie over Steph all day. I remember the Hagler, Leonard, and Hearns era. In the days they used to put boxers on cups at Church's Chicken. That's a fact. And they used to have boxing on regular TV. I got some shit that's in the works, man. I'll tell you the vision. I won't tell you what I'm doing, everything I'm doing, but got some shit that's in the works when it comes to, there's a reason for this channel. There's a reason for me starting to really promote boxing on the airways again, because you guys know I'm a promoter here in Philly. For those who don't know, I promote fights here in Philly. If you want to look at any of them that I promoted, last year at the Met, I threw the B.Y. Jennings fight. B.Y. Jennings and the Grandy twins, the young kids that, you know, taught each other how to box. They debuted on my card last year at the Met on August 24th, right? It was called Brave Hearts Knocking Out Violence. But Gillian Wallow were on that fight. I did the Gillian Wallow knockout parties. I promoted those fights, and I did the, you know, everything that you see from the ring to the camera crew, everything. I put those fights together. And I'm going to start doing that even more. But what I'm doing now is I'm going to make it so that we change the way that boxing is viewed. Because when it's on that pay-per-view scale the way it is now, I think pay-per-view kind of killed boxing. Because a reason I brought this up is because back in the day, Sugar Ray Leonard, like you said, they used to be on the side of cups at Church's Chicken. They also used to be on ABC, primetime TV for free. You know, people need to be introduced to it again. And I have a business plan now that's definitely addressing that. But I'll let the rest of that sit in the wings, and you guys will start to see it as it unfolds in the first quarter of 2026. Dewan Tasnim, he said, Akoye, you a Sixers fan? I was when I watch basketball. I don't watch no basketball no more. After Allen Iverson retired, man, that was it. I said, I'm done. LeBron James was cool for a while, but it's like that era of basketball. This era, this soft era, you know, the soft girl era of boxing. I mean, of basketball, I don't like. You know what I mean? I don't like it. I like it when, you know, I like it when we had like Ron Artests in the game, and Kenyon Martins, and, you know what I mean, the Coleman's, assholes, mean. You know what I mean? Those types of guys, Oakleys. I like that type of basketball. I don't like because I'm a hack. If you play ball with me, like, you can elbow me, I ain't mad. We bump heads while you try and cross me over. I don't feel nothing. I don't feel none of that. So I like to play rough. That's the way I am with everything. I play football. I will play I play tackle, full contact football most of my life with no pads on. I'll come hit you. I'll knock you right down. I'll hit you. No pads, no nothing. I don't care. Never cared. So I probably would have been good at rugby. But yeah, I just like that era of basketball. I don't like what we watching right now. Jarrell Standout, he said, I agree with you. A lot of fans don't understand what this is, prize fighting. In other words, ain't nobody fighting for free, even though you want to see your favorite fighter go against other fighters, other favorites. Yeah, that's a fact. Like, I don't think certain guys should fight unless the money makes sense, because you take on real damage, real damage. I've been hit, right? I got pistol whipped one time, right? Just once, just one time. My nose still, to this day, if you look at my nose is bent off to the left here, and I got a little slash right there, right? Then you see this little slit right here in my lip. My whole lip was split. My nose was broken. My lip was split all the way through here. That's from one rumble. We rumbling because you trying to get me out of here. But we was rumbling, right? That's from one fight. I got permanent damage in my whole life, right? What do you think happened if you boxing? Like, that people taking on real damage for the rest of their life. So if you gonna be a prize fighter, make your money. That's why I'm never mad at nobody making their money for boxing. If you look at guys like Gerald McCullough, who was brain dead after his fight with Nigel Benn, You know what I mean? Those types of fights can change your life. You know what I mean? Both for the better or the worse. So yeah, it's a prize fight. You gotta get your money, man. Gotta get your money. King Regis said, yeah, back then it was really about being supreme. Facts. And you had to love it. King Regis, my favorite boxers are Jack Johnson, Sugar Ray Robinson. You got real taste. Tyson, Ali, James Toney. James Toney, one of my favorites all time. Like if you my style was predicated off of him and Dwight Cowie. I like both of those guys because I'm not super tall for my weight. Like I was a light heavyweight, super middleweight, and I'm 5'9", 5'10". So it's like, you know what I mean? If I'm fighting a guy, sparring a guy that's 6'2", 6'3", I gotta have different strategies than a guy that's, you know, same height. I can't just walk you down with a jab because I can't out jab you necessarily unless I deploy certain shit, right? But the White Cowie, if you want to watch a guy that's 5'7" fight cruiserweights, like watch him fight um Holyfield. The White Cowie and Holyfield. Or they call him Daryl Braxton was his name, but his Muslim name is the White Cowie or the Camden Buzzsaw. Beast. 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 One of my favorites. Um hold up. He said my favorite boxers are Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson, you got to throw him up there just because of what he did in the game. But Sugar Ray Robinson, all time great. He's one of those guys that when you hear Sugar in somebody's name, it's because they got both. You know what I mean? Then a merge between the science of boxing, meaning the stuff I'm breaking down is the science. When I say, oh, your jab, if you throw, you know, you want to throw a flick jab, you want to throw a shotgun jab, put your shoulder back if you want to throw a shotgun jab, you relax your wrist, you want to throw a flick jab, you know what I'm saying? So when you're looking at guys who understand the science of it, right? But then there's art to it where you're doing things that most guys can't do, like what Roy Jones would do, which is like artistic creativity. It's where it merges, right? Sugar Ray Robinson could dance you out of the ring, but also can knock you out one punch. Sugar Ray Leonard, same thing. Can dance you out of the ring all day. He could stay away from you all day if he wants to. Boots can do this too. They can stay away from you all day if they want to and just beat you on points, and you couldn't do shit about it. But then they can knock you the fuck out too. And they got different wrinkles in the game where you haven't seen them before. So they take what you know and then they formulate it into a style that's their own because they remember that boxing is a martial art. Boxing is not just prize fighting. Prize fighting is what we do to make money at the martial art. But people think boxing is just a sport. Boxing is a martial art. It's a reason why I'm 42 and I'm still in shape. I'm in good enough shape to whoop somebody's ass. Because to me, boxing is not some shit that I did when I was trying to compete for money. I never cared about the money. I cared about fighting to hurt. I want to be able to hurt somebody. I live in Philly. You better be able to fight. At some point, you're gonna have to fight. I don't care. I'm a nerd. I'm not like a goon. I'm a goon nerd. I'm a tough nerd. I'm from the projects here in Philly. You know what I mean? One of the toughest projects in Philly. And I was a nice person when I got there. I came from the suburbs in Texas at 6 to Philadelphia. And my mom dropped my ass right off my house in the projects, in Richard Allen projects. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? What you think happening? I'm getting my ass whooped when I was a young boy. So it was like, in Philly, you better be able to fight, man. You better be able to fight. Like boxing is like it was life or death for me. It wasn't I want to be a prize fighter. I never even cared about that. It was like I want to be able to keep my bike when I go outside. Or when my aunt sent me to the store, I can't say I can't go to the store. She making me go. But they waiting for me out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you better be able to do something. You better be able to make it shake when you get out there. But yeah, so I'm a nerd and I can fight. So it's like Philly is full of that. It's like you got killers who crazy who can fight. You got, well, not now. I mean, the YNs now, I don't think too many of them can rumble, man. I think that's why they shooting each other so crazy. But you had to be able to fight, at least in my era, you had to fight, like really be able to rumble. But yeah, I like Sugar Ray Robinson because of that. Like he can dance you out the ring, but he'll knock you out. James Toney, one of my favorites too. He said honorable mention, Terry Norris, Ray Mercer. What you know about Ray Mercer? Oh man, Ray Mercer was a beast, man. I like Ray Mercer. Vinny Pazienza, I like him too. Duran was nasty. You know, my favorite defensive fighter, I bet y'all never. I got so much boxing history in me, it's not even funny. It's not just the technical, man. Nicolino Loche, watch him. El Untouchable. I think he was Argentine fighter, but you couldn't touch him. You see him right in front of you. You couldn't do shit with him. His slip game was crazy. Willie Pep, Gene Tunney, Kid Gavilan, Joe Gans. I watched them all. Ezzard Charles. Jersey Joe Walcott, one of my favorites of all time. His cakewalk is the shit. Love Jersey Joe Walcott. But yeah, I can keep going with that. But Dewan, you asked the question. You said you got pistol whipped and you laughing. Damn, that's crazy. So you got to tell that story. I used to be, yeah, should I say that story live? I used to be into some shit, put it that way. I ain't gonna say, well, you could read it. If what's understood don't need to be explained. But I used to get into shit. And um was going to my car after a bar. People thought I had some funds on me, which I probably did. And when I'm going to the car, my instincts is crazy. When I'm going to the car, I'm walking and two dudes go diagonal behind me, right? Well, one of them go diagonal behind me. He said, "What's up?" Went this way. Another dude in my trunk. But I went to go get in the car, and we got a thing in Philly where, not we, but people have a thing in Philly where this is how they rob you. Like if you go jump in your car and you one of those people that unlock all your doors when you jump in the car. You jump in the car, somebody slide in your back seat, put a gun on you, and they tell you where to go, and then you're done. You in that car, wherever they tell you to go, you're going, and you're done because they're already in the back seat behind you. So I went to go open the door. When I went to go open the door, I thought like, why are they not in unison? So the dude who was near the trunk wasn't in unison with his man. So I went to go look to see where his man went, and he wasn't over there. I went to look over his shoulder, and he was right here. Yeah, like you know how somebody tap you on the shoulder. He never tapped me, but he had cleared me already. But you know how somebody tap you on the shoulder in school, and then they on this side. I went to go look over this shoulder. He was on this shoulder. Boom, and I'm already at my car door. He's like, "Yo, get in the car." So I went to go get in the car. I ain't gonna lie. Like when people be like, "Oh, I'll do this if you put a gun to me," I'll do that. I don't need to think about it. I wasn't being tough. I just didn't know what I was. A voice hit me. I went to go open the door, and I had a friend that died that way from somebody, driving him around. And I thought about like, yo, they might take me to my crib. He get my license. He gonna take me home. My kids in my house, so it's gonna be a home invasion or something like that. So I said, I ain't going home. So that's how my mind is working. But I went to open the door to get in. I went to go get in the car when he said get in. He said get in the car. I went to go get in, and something said that's a casket. I was like, that's a casket or that's a grave. And I always had this thing. I think that was like my own instincts way of like jolting me into action because I always had this thing. I would watch a movie or watch like Casino and watch when they go put you there, dig a grave, have you dig your own grave and get in it. I'm like, if you give me a shovel, you got a gun on me, I'm gonna swing the shovel at you. You're gonna have to shoot me and dig the grave. I'm not digging my own grave and getting in it for you. I'm not doing it. So when he said get in the car and something said that's a casket, I was just like, no. And then we just started fighting. He hit me with the gun and we just started going. And his homie was, robbing my car while he did that. But that's what happened. While he was doing, I'm throwing punches, he hit me with the gun. But I ain't mad at it. That's like I tell the story now. I used to be like shy about the story. It happened like 2018. I used to not tell everybody because I'm like, nobody never took nothing from me before. So I used to make me mad. But I realized most people would have gotten that car and be dead right now. I wouldn't be on this show talking to you if I wasn't who I am. So I'm like, I don't feel no shame in it because I rumbled for my life and I won. And you know what I mean? They got the fuck up out of there. But he could have shot me. He didn't want to shoot me where we were. We was right next to a bar that was like real public. It's a popular bar here in Philly. So he didn't want to do it there. He wanted to take me somewhere, rob me, and probably take me home and then do whatever they want to do. But nah. So these scars, I ain't mad at. You know what I mean? They badges of honor for me. I ain't mad at them. King Reezy, he said Akoye shared that story before in his other channel. I rock with Akoye because he's transparent enough to admit a loss. Yep, I don't care. I mean, I'm human. I'm human. He said, when I tell people I love James Toney, they look at me crazy. I don't talk to them anymore. Yeah, James Toney, if you want to see like excellence, I know we about an hour in. I don't care. Like the topic is over. So if you want to watch the Lubin conversation and all that, y'all got to start over from this joint and watch it from the beginning. I'm just freestyling right now because I like this conversation that we having. But James Toney is one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion, because his style translates. You know what I mean? He can go up in weight. He can do a lot of different things and still carry not only his power, but still give you problems where everybody can't do that, right? James Toney, he like me. Like I don't got super big hands. My aunt used to come at me. I used to get mad. She was like, you got girl hands. You got little nut ass hands. My aunts used to ground me up. Now my uncles was kind of nice to me. My aunts used to ground me the fuck up though, man. But you ground me up about these hands. And my wrist ain't real big. James Toney hands ain't big either. but he carried his, so he not naturally stout power puncher, but he can you can develop it. I learned power too because I learned how to develop it. I'll teach y'all that in another video. But um, James Toney though, go all the way up to heavyweight, still carrying, still rocking guys, man. And his style to me, Bill Miller, everybody thought that Freddie Roach trained James Toney, which he did, but he didn't teach him. Bill Miller, the late Bill Miller, taught James Toney everything he knows. And Bill Miller was a big Ezra Charles and um, Georgie Benton fan. So that's where the shoulder roll comes from. Ezra Charles and Georgie Benton were Philly shell guys. Georgie Benton actually created the Philly shell. He's from Philly. I met him. He passed away now, but I used to work for the Blue Horizon here in Philly when in like 05 for Vinoka Michael and Barbara Peach. They were sisters. They used to own it. Black ladies, cool as shit. But they were in love with Georgie Benton. I think he was popping back in the day. But anyway, because they used to talk about him something crazy. And they all did now. So I hope I ain't disrespecting nobody. You know what I mean? Well, may y'all all rest well and they, rest in peace. But anyway, my trainer did too. He talk crazy. He just died last year. But Georgie Benton, man, his style, that Philly shell is dangerous. And James Toney said he used to sit and watch Ezra Charles and Georgie Benton for hours just to develop that, right? But James Toney's style, if you watch him versus Iron Barkley, that's some of the best or most dominant boxing I've ever seen. Outside of that, if you want to watch good boxing, like high IQ chess boxing, you really love boxing and you want to know what it's supposed to look like, watch James Toney versus the body snatcher Mike McCollum. Any of the fight, they fought, I think 2-3 times. But the first one, excellent. Everything. Like if I'm teaching a kid how to fight or how to box, I go to that fight unless they got certain body mechanics that they need to watch. Like if I'm watching a short, stocky guy, I tell them to go. If I'm training a short, stocky guy, you shouldn't watch too much James Toney or Mike McCollum. You should go watch Dwight Cowee. Go watch Tyson. Watch short guys and how they deliver their power. Watch Pitbull Cruz, those types of guys. But if you're a average size guy or you got good length and good athleticism, man, James Toney, Mike McCollum is all you need. You don't even need no other fights. You can watch James Toney, Mike McCollum, and you can watch Gerald McCullough fight anybody. Gerald McCullough was a beast. All right. He said, right, real men's sports, not that everyone's a trophy ball. I think that's what you're saying. Agent 9, he said, brother, I don't blame you. Cool dude. Yeah, that's y'all talking to each other. I ain't gonna read all that shit. He said, wow, yeah, you definitely made the right choice not getting in the car, I guess. Yeah, that's for sure. He said, dang, I forgot Floyd Patterson. That's facts. Yeah, Floyd Patterson was that bull too. He was actually a Customato fighter as well. Floyd Patterson was. He was one of Customado's fighters, Mike Tyson's trainer. Cowboy Thanos, he said, lights out. He said, Philly always had elite trainers and boxers. That's what King Reezy said. Yep, it did. And then Ty said, I think James Toney and Roy Jones Jr. are Boots' favorite fighters of all times. I see a lot of elements of those two in the way he fights. That's a fact. That's a fact. He said, it sucks. No real big fights happening in Philly. It's always in LA, New York, and Saudi nowadays. Philly's market, the business is, Philly business is just bad, period. That's just the way Philadelphians is. You got different places that create different types of people, right? New York create assholes that's kind of like macho and bravado. They a little extra for us. Like Philly, we calm, we chill. We call it chill regular. Like we calm niggas. Like we don't get into all that, right? But everybody here tough. But at the same time, they so calm, they don't want to flash or stand out. So when you got a community of people who don't want to stand out, it's real hard to make it, right? Because they all waiting for one person to be the trailblazer, right? Which is okay. But once that person trailblazes, instead of getting behind them and supporting that, the way Philly is, if I sell, let's say I sell jackets, and I say I make 100,000 this year selling jackets. Next year, it's gonna be 100,000 Philadelphians selling jackets, the same jackets I'm selling. So now none of us can make money because the people that I would have sold the jacket to are trying to sell me a jacket. You know what I'm saying? That's Philly. Same thing with boxing. You know what I mean? They cannibalize their own. I think Boots is on the path of kind of bringing it back here by making sure he fights at the Wells Fargo. I like the fact that he's doing that because those events are electrifying, and he bringing Philly out. But Philly got a lot of crab mentality the way Philly is, man. But the beautiful thing about Philly, the reason I love it is because if you can learn to stand out here and make money here, and you can stamp yourself here, if you could just be a name here, do anything you want to do here, like whatever you do here is enhanced everywhere else you go. When I go to Cali, I run a circle. They lazy, man. I run circles around them, man. You go to New York, they too loud. You could be the calm Sigma in the room, run circles around them, man. You go to Delaware, they just want to be you. Go to Chester, they want to be you. So run circles around them. And I ain't hating on nobody, man. I'm just saying wherever we go, there's only certain cities that we really respect because they carry it how we carry it. And that's like Baltimore, they crazy. Detroit, crazy. Memphis, crazy. Certain places you go, New Orleans, crazy. But those places, they kind of carry it how we carry it. You know what I'm saying? But Philly is a chill place. But business-wise, when it comes to boxing, it'll never be, I don't think it'll ever be big. The things that I'm trying to do, I don't think will be big here either. It's going to be big from a streaming's perspective. But as far as like bringing asses to places, no, Philly not that. If Philly not even that major of a tourist attraction anyway. So, you got that going against you too. You know what I mean? He said, let's see. He said, that's why a lot of brothers have issues with Central and South American fighters sometimes. Their training is crazy and they can have crazy endurance. That's a fact. Shout out to the guys from Argentina. Who's that? You got, I think he's an Argentine. Carlos Muzon was an Argentine fighter. Marcos Maidana, Argentine fighter. Lucas Matisse, Argentine fighter. Nicoloni Loche, Argentine fighter. Certain places, when I hear it, I know what I'm getting. Cuban fighters. If I hear you from Cuba, oh, I know they can fight. You know what I'm saying? They might not do well career-wise. Who knows? Anybody can get clipped. Anybody can become Gamboa, but they can fight. I know what training they went through. Philly, one of them places where if you come from here, like I know guys who never fought, who work for the post office, or they cops. They'll beat your ass, man. And you wouldn't even think it. You're like, I don't look like I can fight. I told you I was a nerd. I always could fight though. I was a nerd though. You know what I mean? But I grew up in the project, so I'm a hood nerd. But I always could fight, and I never was scared of shit. So I'll rumble you. You know what I mean? But I ain't the toughest guy here though, by no means. There's dudes that's like, you know what I mean? They'll get you out of it. But when I moved to Delaware, it was like, I moved to Delaware for 2 years because I was bad here, man. It's like, that's when I learned. I said, oh, y'all don't move how Philly move. I mean, this lady, I'll give you this one quick story, right? This lady was sending her son to Kim's Karate, man, across the street from me, young white kid, man. He called me a nigger. And we met in the middle of the street in front of his mom. His mom, it's like she was sending him to a camp or something to train to be able to beat these kids up. So, because she kind of co-signed, she sanctioned the fight, but she sent him out to meet me in the middle of the street. He threw a punch. I grabbed his arm. You know, you grab somebody's arm and they turn around, try to elbow you. He tried to elbow me. Now I got him like, I'm now behind him, right? I got one arm here. I got his arms this way. So, what was that move? It was like the RKO. What was that joint where they trip you and they slam your face into the ground? I tripped him from the front. So I took my foot and put it in front of him, tripped him, and he couldn't support himself with his arms. We like 10 years old. Couldn't support himself with his arms. So I slammed him right on his face. And I thought this at 10 years old. I said, damn, Delaware different. They don't fight like we fight in Philly because nobody would have, you ain't got to send me to karate class to learn how to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I was just thinking at 10 years old, she wasted her money on karate, man. Because it don't really matter. I ain't do no karate, no nothing at that time. We just could fight. So and that's all we did. Me, my cousins, everybody, we tried to kill each other. So if you wasn't coming with that energy, I know my cousin was trying to kill me yesterday. So if you ain't coming with that energy, you ain't gonna do shit with me. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen. But that's how we grew up. So Philly is like that, man. It's a weird place. It's like Spartans. If there was a place where I say you building Spartans that can go do whatever they want to do in any other place in the world, I would say it's Philly. But don't come here trying to do business because they'll eat you. Yeah, it's not that. He said, gotta go where the money is Dewan. Facts. Manny Pacquiao, my favorite fighter. They talking about Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather too, right now. And they talking about that because both of them need some money. Floyd going out bad, man. They going out bad. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean going out bad like he destitute looking like Joe Louis or nothing. I forgot we ain't mentioned Joe Louis earlier or Jersey Joe Walcott. But he ain't going out bad like that. But when he went up and started talking like the Jews will always like, it's not that I got something against Jews, right? It's just the fact that he was up there as the spokesperson for the Jews talking the other day. I was like, what the fuck is this? It's like, it's just sad, man. Yeah, that was just crazy shit. But Floyd fighting Pacquiao now, I think if they fight again, it's gonna be because they both need some money. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a goddamn about that fight, but it's gonna be because they both need some money. I don't think that fight is worth watching because they both are over the hill, but people will watch it because of the notoriety that both of those guys have, and it's smart business for both their parts because they're each other's biggest draw if they fight each other again. That's the biggest payday that both of them could probably get. So in a real fight though, not no exhibition shit, none of that. Real fight. He said, "You know how to wrestle a little bit. You straight for real." Yeah, I do a little bit. No, my sons do jujitsu. Like they really. I don't know if I can add that here, but my sons. Next time I jump on here, because we already been on an hour. I don't want to go surfing through content to find it for you. But if y'all follow, matter of fact, follow me on. I'm gonna put you. I'm gonna put my Instagram up here. Make sure y'all like and subscribe too. Like and subscribe to this channel. Make sure y'all rock with it. But that's my IG right there. Follow me on there. You can watch my sons. They all up and down that page doing jujitsu, breaking people's arms and shit like that. They the only people that I respect in fighting is people who practice jujitsu. Like if any other sport, I'm like, you ain't gonna kick me, dog. So I don't care if you're doing taekwondo, karate, dog, you ain't gonna kick me, man. And I hope you would try it. But that shit, that jujitsu, man, nah. My son, he told me what he's gonna do to me. And it's crazy. Nobody ever did no shit like that with me, man. Like he told me, he said, Dad, I'm a smother choke. He told me he was gonna do it to me. He did it. He said, I'm a smother choke you. I said, what's that? He said, I'm gonna hold your nose in your mouth with my hand, right? And you're gonna tap out. I said, yo, ain't no way. Ain't no, I call cat. Ain't no way. You can see us wrestling on there too. I try to beat him. He can't beat me standing up, but I can't do shit with him if he take me to the ground. But I'm like, ain't no way you ever gonna tap me doing that, bro. No way. This motherfucker, man, he took one leg and pinned my arm with it. So my arm is stuck behind one of his legs. So he took one of his legs and pinned my arm. He behind me. Took one of his legs and pinned my arm. So his leg is like around here, pinned. This arm is free. My arm free, right? So I'm using this one. He took his free arm, his other hand. So he got his leg on one arm. He took one hand and grabbed his arm. So now this arm is locked in, and then he took his leg and he tried to lock this arm between that leg. So now I can't use my arms. He got a free hand. He took his fucking free hand and waited for me to like struggle. So I'm like breathing a lot. Then he just squeezed my nose and my mouth and held it. I swear to God, I tapped. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker told me what he was going to do and did it. And then he did it in competitions against people who know how to stop it and was doing it. I was like, yeah, no. No, I don't want to be in no fight with somebody who can, put me in positions where I can't do shit about it. I don't like wrestlers and I don't like jujitsu practitioners, man. That's I'll shoot y'all. I'm not fighting you, dog. I'm not fighting you, dog. I'm gonna stab you or something. I'm gonna shoot you. Didn't Pacquiao fight someone recently? I thought he looked solid for his age. Solid for his age don't mean good though, but yeah, I don't know who he fought either though. I ain't paid no mind. I ain't paid no mind. But yeah, man. We've been on here for an hour, so if you guys want to ask some questions or any more questions, I'm all for it. Let's do it. And then if you don't, then we're going to wrap it up in about 10 minutes. So, I'm going to open up the lines for some questions now. You know what I mean? If you guys want to talk fights or talk style, strategy, whatever, boxing business, just so you guys know, who those who don't know what I do, because especially the guys who watch me from a football standpoint, I'm a licensed boxing promoter here in Philly, so I'm throwing fights moving forward, and like I said, my strategy is a little bit different than everybody's, but I'll get into strategy a little later and get into that. But I'm also a boxing coach, so I train fighters. People send fighters to me to learn footwork or learn certain aspects of the game, because I'm not a guy. I look at guys like you said, Dewan. They said go where the money is. King Reezy said that to you, I think. Same thing. I like to make money. You know what I mean? So I'm nothing against some trainers. I don't got this ain't shade towards trainers. I know a lot of trainers that do make money just training fighters. But that's not how I looked at it. I look at training fighters as a passion, right? So I can make money doing it. Just like YouTube is a passion. I'm not making money doing this. I've been talking to y'all straight for an hour, really talking to myself for an hour. For real, for real. Y'all not even talking. You know what I mean? So this is how much I like doing this shit, right? So I do this for free. You know what I mean? I will get paid doing it, but I do this for free. But I like to make money though. You know what I mean? So being a trainer that's just gonna sit in the gym waiting for the next Mike Tyson to show up, I ain't doing that. You know what I mean? I ain't doing that. So instead of doing that, what I do, I train guys who are already pros. You send them to me, I will show them how to either increase their power, increase their footwork, increase their box, whatever's wrong with them. I'm a fixer. You send your guy to me, and I'll fix him. I'll tweak his game, or I will break down his opponent for him. Like I do that for coaches and trainers now. Trainers know me; they'll never tell you that they use me for it because everybody want to act like Floyd. I don't watch my opponents first, or I don't watch fights. I just fight what's in front of me because it ain't gonna fight me. That's all bullshit that Floyd used to say. Floyd used to watch his opponents. Everybody study their opponents. It's bullshit if you say you don't. But what I say is, what I do is give you the bird's eye view on your opponent. You'll know what drills to use because I'll take the guy, break him down, use pattern recognition to see what he does well, what he doesn't do well, and I will train you based off of that, or give your coach drills for you based off of that. And a lot of coaches have used me over the last 5 years for that, behind the scenes, especially here in Philly. You know what I mean? That's what I do. He said, "Do you have an online training packet, or do you like go to?" I don't have it, but I will put it up there eventually. This is my website. I don't know. See what I'm saying? Most people don't even. I'll be forgetting I got one too. I ain't gonna lie, but most people don't even know who I am or know what I do because I don't. I just come in and do what I do. I don't really be. I don't market well enough half the time because I got different people in Philly don't know that I'm known in the cowboy world as an analyst. They know me for what I do in Philly. People in the boxing world don't know I'm in football. People in football don't be knowing I'm in the boxing because I don't cross promote. I don't tell people what I do. People who are here now don't know what I do to make money, but it's not. I'm not even in the streets no more. No shit like that. So it's like I just don't promote. I don't know why I should though. I should promote more. But yeah, check out the page. And that's where the app will start being posted to. Once I'm finished with the boxing app, it'll be on there. He said, "Do you have any online training packages, or do you like to watch people you train? I love to step into boxing. I'm 25, but don't know where to start." Um, yeah, you can hit me up. Where you from though? If you from Philly, are you from near here? I'll put you with somebody. I'll put you with Ivan Robinson. That's my man. But I'll put you with him. He'll train you for me. Um, that's why if I'm not in the gym or I can't be in the gym or I can't be with my guys, I send them to him, Ivan Robinson. He fought a Toro Gotti in some wars. He had to fight a year with a Toro Gotti twice. Yeah, and fought Adrian Manfredi too, and fought some other guy. But yeah, I like Ivan Robinson. He said, "You from California?" There's a lot of gyms in Cali. Boxing is prevalent in Cali. But what I would start with, number one, is road work. Two, um, learning the jab, and I can teach you the jab, but you had to just hit me up because I don't want to teach it here. I've been on here for too long, but you had to hit me up. But I'll teach you how to develop your jab right now. Learn the speed bag and get on it, even when you're bad at it. Stay on it for as long as you can till you master it, because the speed bag teaches you how to flick your jab. Number one, and teach you full extension and timing. So a lot of people get into the mitts. I hate mitts. I use them, but I use them for what they're used for. I don't get into the patty cakes bullshit because nobody's going to throw their face at your fucking hands from multiple angles. Like if you want to hit me, you got to earn it, right? So if you want to hit the mitts that I'm holding, you got to bring your hand to the mitt. I'm not bringing the mitts to your hands unless I'm trying to simulate something for a specific reason. And I'm not hating on trainers to do it. It's cute and it's good for reflexes, but it destroys the jab. The jab is going to be a lost art because nobody has to hit a speed bag anymore. Nobody knows how to flick a jab or how to really throw a proper jab. Not too many people. Haney has one. Tyson Fury can jab pretty good. There's some guys out here, but I don't want to go down the whole list of guys, but it's not prevalent like it used to be. You used to see a lot of guys where all you needed back in the day was a good jab and good footwork. If I could start you somewhere, it would be road work, start running, get your heel clicks going. When I say heel clicks, I mean lateral movement, running your stance. So running your boxing stance. I make my fighters run in their boxing stance, meaning don't interchange your feet while you're running. Run. If you're a conventional fighter and your left foot is forward, you run just like you would walk in the ring. Left foot forward, right foot behind it. You run that way. You run backwards that way. You know what I'm saying? For miles. So that way you never get tired of moving around in the ring. And then learn the jab. You learn those two things, you can call yourself a boxer because you can do those things and stay safe against most people in the world doing that, right? And then everything else comes off of that. But I'll show you though. You just follow me on my IG page. That's my word, and I'll holler at you. Just tell me that your name, tell me your real name or whatever name you're using on IG. So tell me that you're Dion M, and I'll remember you. But I'll help you. He said, I bet I wrote those down. I'll get in contact in the future. Appreciate it. I'll start my research. Yep. You want to look at jabs and you want to see what it's supposed to look like? Start with Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes, Lennox Lewis, Ike Corte. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, do that. He said, Akoye gonna pull out the equalizer. Yeah, I guess if we doing jujitsu, I'm biting, scratching, stab. If I know you know jujitsu, I'm gonna try to hurt you or I'm running. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't want no. I told my sons that I said, "Yo, if you get in a fight with somebody, though, bro, bring me back a eyeball." I told him, I was like, "Yo, break his legs, arms, hands, all." He said, "Why?" I said, "Cause they go if you just put somebody to sleep and they see you tomorrow, they gonna shoot you." I said, "Especially you." Cause my son 21, one of them 21, the other one 18. They both animals with that. I was like, they gonna hurt you. So if you fight somebody, make sure they got a lot of time to think about healing before they can shoot you. Get what I'm saying? He think that I'm lying or I'm talking crazy. I said, nah, man, bring me back an arm. You know what I mean? Break his arms, break his legs. So that way, you know, he gotta really, 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 really want to hurt you after the 6 months of waiting for that to heal to come back and shoot you. He gotta really want to do it, but he ain't gonna do it tomorrow. I can tell you that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all ain't asking more real questions, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. But yeah, Andre Ward is a good person to look at for the jab. Larry Holmes, especially. Larry Holmes' jab is the best in the business. And like I said, I enjoy talking boxing and sports in general, and I enjoy having y'all on here. Make sure you guys give a rest in peace and a moment of silence and some good energy towards Marshawn Nealon's family and himself. Make sure you guys follow Akoye Knows Boxing. Those of you who are joining up from the Akoye Media page, make sure you follow Akoye Knows Boxing. When the apps drop or when I'm having fights and when the apps drop, I will definitely look for your guys' support in that regard as well, so that you can watch the fights that I put on, man, because it's what we do. So, like I said, I appreciate y'all. And like I said, enjoy it. Talk to y'all soon. Peace. We out.